Oh boy, good evening, everyone. Welcome to 3LG. I'm sorry I'm so late today. I've just had a lot on my mind. I had to work today, and it's gloomy outside. It's been rainy, rainy, rainy. So I'm just now getting settled in, and I want to get started for today on my 3LG topic, which is entitled Communication, Compassion, and Humility. This is segment number 49. I welcome you. Just come on and get comfortable. Get you something to drink. Get you a little snack or whatever. And get comfortable and join me right now. Because this is something that, I needed myself. This topic. We all do in order to maintain peace, to stabilize our comfort zone and our surroundings. Okay, first of all, these three things before I get started, because that's rude. Welcome to 3LG. If you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that. If this is your first time viewing, God knows I welcome you. And I'm sorry for being so rude, but I'm just so saddened and I'm just so hurt by things that's going on with me personally, by things that's going on within social media with different people, and it's a sad day. I mean, it's a sad time, and people think it's a joke, but we are definitely living in the last days, because things is out of control, for real. The time that we have left, it is critical that we understand how important it is to have peace. So in order to keep peace, we need communication. We need to have compassion and definitely humility. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started with that. In order to maintain, like I said, peace around us, within us, and because of us, we need to understand how important it is to have these things. And this is at home, at the workplace, at church, within a friendship, within relationships, within marriages, and just as a human being, period, to your neighbor. Okay? And your neighbor is anyone that's outside of yourself. Okay? So let's go into, first of all, having peace within your home. You need communication. Because if there's not communication, you have an issue. You have a situation. We take things for granted. We assume. And that's a no-no. Because I'm going through that right now where I assumed things was gravy when it actually wasn't. And then at the same time, you can tell a difference within somebody's reaction, and that may be because a lack of communication. So like I said, this is a lesson for me today as well as you all. It's very important that you communicate. And it's the type of communication that can cause a problem. Because a phone call might be more critical than a text. A letter, that if you're long distance, may be more important than a text as well. And sometimes in person is the best communication because you don't have a chance to be a coward. Because a lot of times we use things outside of in person to, hide behind. And we can't do that. We need to be able to confront the person up front. Don't assume a person feels a certain way. And nobody can't read your mind. So if you got something that's on your chest, you need to get it off your chest way before it hits the fan. You know what I mean? Because it's too late then. When you first have the lack of communication, you need to talk to one another, okay? That's first, okay? Having communication is the key. I need this just as well as you. Compassion. It is critical that we have compassion for one another because that's the only way to keep peace with your brother and your sister. And I don't mean literally your sibling. I mean people in general. You need to have compassion because when you don't have compassion, that's why we cause wreck out here. Because we don't have compassion. And humility is important because humility humbles us. So that means when you think you all that, when you think you above everybody else, when you think your number two don't stink, when you think you don't need to do certain things that everybody else do because you this way or you that way, that's not being humble. And then you begin to think that you have what you have and you do what you do on the strength of you when it's not, honey. Because if it wasn't for the Lord blessing you with the ability to do what you do, then you wouldn't be able to do it, honey. So let's talk about the Bible and what it says about communication, compassion, and humility. Let's go to the book of Ephesians, honey. Okay, let me get my Bible, my new Bible that my neighborhood church gave to me last week. Okay, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4, please. You can come with me or you can check it out later. We're going to go first to Ephesians 4, verse 29. Okay, and this is in regards to communication. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto those that are listening. Okay? That means don't let whack stuff, rude stuff, terrible stuff, boasting stuff come out of your lips. You use things to come out of your mouth that will help people grow, that will help encourage people, that will help people feel good. I ain't saying you gotta lie, but if you can't say something nice, you can't say something that's edifying, be quiet. I gotta abide myself because I have a tendency, if I feel like a person need to know something, I come off rough sometimes when I say it, or I choose the wrong words to say things sometimes. So I need help just like the next person. But it's in the word, Ephesians 4, verse 29. Don't let no corrupt stuff come out your mouth. Say good things, say nice things, say truthful things. And it's a way to say anything. Just because you being nice when you say stuff, you could be being sarcastic. Sarcasm is still corrupt, honey, because people may take that the wrong way. because everybody don't know you like that. And everybody ain't on the level with you like that. So you can't play with everybody. Some people you can, but you don't know the depth. You don't know what somebody may be going through. So, honey, you need to, cool off with the sarcasm sometimes. That's me, because I do have a sarcastic mouth sometimes. And then, I feel a certain kind of way when I get it back. But no, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. If you can't stand the heat, stay out the kitchen. So that's why do unto others is what you will have them do unto you. So you have to remember that when we speak it to someone, and communication is the key. Okay? Within relationships, at your job, within friendships. Okay? So Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29 says, don't let corrupt stuff come out of your mouth. Okay? Let's go a little bit down to Ephesians 4, verse 32. And this is in regards to compassion. Okay? Be kind to one another. Be tenderhearted. Always forgive one another, even as Christ has forgiven you and still forgiving you. So we have to remember that. That is essential. Forgiveness. Because it hurts. God knows. It's like pulling teeth sometimes to forgive people that has hurt you. And you have hurt someone. And you might not even realize that you've hurt that person. You might be totally clueless. So people cannot read your mind. So if you're hurting, communicate that. If you mad, upset about something, communicate that. Have compassion when you speak on it, though. Because that's my issue with me. The compassion. With older people, I may have a little compassion. But with these young folks, it's hard to have compassion because they try to be so rough and hardcore. So it's hard to have that compassion. But when you're living for God, you got to do everything in your willpower to have compassion. So God is working on me with that. So if I've been hard, forgive me on that. And you need to forgive the next person. And if you've been hard on somebody, you need to ask for forgiveness and start over. Okay? Let's go to the workplace using CCH. Communication, compassion, and humility. It is important. Ooh. Whew. That's a rough thing. When things are unfair, when things are wicked, when things, the management is poor, wrong decisions is made, it takes everything, it takes every bit of God in you to retain compassion and humility on the workplace. The Lord is still dealing with me because I will call you out when you're being unfair. When you know what I'm saying? You cannot be a doormat, but at the same time, you can't be quick to jump every time you feel something is not right. And that's my issue with me. I got to stop that because I got to know that God will take care of me. Regardless, things may seem unfair. That's why I had to let it ride off, especially with this latest decision that was made at my workplace. It's terrible. It's like spitting in my face. And what I got to do, I've done communicated how I felt. That's over with. And now I'm just going to be humble on it. I'm just going to let it ride out and just trust that the Lord will take care of me. Regardless, honey, you may be doing me dirty, honey, but the dirt you throwing on me, honey, is flying right off of me, because God going to take care of me. So I'm not going to worry about it no more. And I'm going to just be content for right now. Because if you're doing something that's wrong, you're doing something that's evil, you're doing something that's unfair, those people that's managing at any job, my job included, you will pay before you leave this earth, honey. Every person that's involved. And that's the truth. Okay? Within friendships, we lose friends because we have poor communication, because we have no compassion. And everybody is not our friend. We done been through that. But regardless, your neighbor is anybody outside of you. You must have compassion for them. Yes, they're going to do things that get up under your skin. Yes, they're going to do things that piss you off sometimes. Yes, you're going to do things to people that really make people want to hurt you. But you got to have compassion. You got to be humble. We got to just be like, Lord, help them. Help me not to go off. That's what we got to work on ourselves with. We do. Because we don't want to mistake people out there for being friends and they not friends. Okay? And I can't emphasize enough to be careful who you call friends. Be careful who you roll with places. Be careful. Look for signs in people that, if they don't want to be bothered with you, don't deal with these people. Y'all may have a mutual friend, but in order to keep peace, don't go. Don't attend. Don't open your mouth. Just mind your business. Don't put a person in the middle of a situation where they got the tug of war with who they gonna, don't do that. Don't put a person in a tight spot. Just be quiet, mind your business, and let things pan out. And keep your whole armor on. Armor of God. We talked about that in Sunday school. I didn't talk about it, but I listened. Keep that whole armor of God on you, honey, because you're going to need it. Because people going to throw things at you and people going to say things, honey. And I'm telling you, you will turn into somebody else real quick if you ain't got the armor of God on you, honey, because Satan is ready. Soon as you let that guard up, just that little bit right there, he coming in. Him and his people, they ready. Because they know you trying to do good. You trying to do what's right. And they ready for you to just slack up just a little bit. And they coming in. Don't let Satan win. Don't do it. You have a freedom of choice. And you need that compassion, that humility, and you need to know how to communicate. Because it's not enough just to communicate, because sometimes you communicate at the wrong time with the wrong people and the wrong way. So it's important that you understand how to communicate. Just read Ephesians, honey, chapter 4. And it teach you about that communicate. It teach you how to watch your mouth. Because that is dangerous. Okay? So, within your family, communication is important. But you got to watch how you communicate, honey. Because you can start up stuff. Okay? Within your church, it's important to have that communication. Never feel like you can't say what you need to say because you're at church. There's a time and a place to do it, but govern yourself accordingly. You okay? Because if you're in service, you're not going to be up in there asking questions and talking about Sunday school. You go to Sunday school to talk about Sunday school. You study your lessons at home for Sunday school. when you're in up on the choir, you are commissioned to sing. You go to choir rehearsal to sing. You handle your business. You communicate what you need to communicate to do that. And if you have a job to do, a ministry to serve on, that's what you need to do. And you need to have communication within that ministry as well. Okay, a lot of people say, Daria, you sing. Why are you not on the choir? Honey, I've been there and I've done that. I move on to another mission. My heart is not into singing. I love it. I love to hear it. I do anything to I love music, but it's just not in me to sing anymore. And, but I will help anybody else out because I have a situation that causes me, I just can't. I really can't. But I love to hear it, and that's how I praise God, is through song at home in my own privacy. Sometimes I even do it here on 3LG because, I feel more comfortable because I'm not in the midst of everyone, even though everyone could see me. Is a little different. But if you can't be dedicated to a ministry, get off the ministry. So that was my thing. I cannot be dedicated. If you're not going to be coming to practice, you're not going to go to the various churches when the church has to go other places, you only going to come when you feel like it. Get off the ministry because that's not what you're supposed to be. If you can't be dedicated, get off. That's why I had to get off. I can't be dedicated. That's why I can't really serve on a ministry at church because I don't have the dedication to do it. Because sometimes I don't even have the gas to be traveling back and forth because it takes everything in me to get to work and come back. If I can't be dedicated, it's a ministry I want to join. I want to serve on, but I don't feel that I'm where I need to be to serve on that ministry yet. So I'm still working on that. So in the meanwhile, that's why I do 3LG, because I still want to be able to help somebody get on the right path, and we walk together towards that same destination. Heaven bound, you know what I mean? So serving in church, it's important to have that communication and have compassion with people and patience with older people, patience with people that's different than you, having compassion for people that's different from you, because you don't turn your nose up. It's a way you do everything, or how you can do anything is to pay attention, communicate, stay humble, and have compassion, and it'll be okay. Trust me, it will. So treat your neighbor as you would want somebody to treat you. Don't take for granted that you know how somebody else feel. You need to communicate it, okay? Be humble, because when you're not, and you're boasting, and you think you all that, honey, God will bust you down so quick. He will show you that you're not too good to be bust down, okay? Oh, before I go, I just gotta say that, because I used to, it's not funny, but it is funny. I used to pass by certain homes and be like, oh my God, I know nobody don't live in there, okay? And it would be different if I was like sad and then wish I could just like help the people, but I was just in shock that somebody would live there. And God showed me, honey, I'm gonna show you. And he busted down to me where I ended up living in one of those very homes that I used to be like, what? Somebody lived there? Now I live in a home that's just like that. Don't get me wrong. It's a roof over my head. And I don't have roaches and I don't have rats. So, that's a good thing. That's a great thing, because there's many people that don't have that, okay? But God just humbled me to let me know that don't never think you all that, honey, because I will bust you down so quick. You know, not that I thought I was all that because I was renting. I didn't own anything, but I just couldn't believe that someone would even allow someone to live in something that I, used to look at. And then I'm looking at, wow, I'm in that very same kind of place. So God have a way of humbling us. So, and the same thing with the car. If people was driving a beat up car and you looking at the car because you think you got your car is all that, honey, you better keep your mouth closed, honey. Because before you know it, you be driving one of them hoopies that somebody else driving because you done look down on their stuff. So just be careful how you look down on people and how you look at certain things they drive or what they live in and all that, thinking you all of that, honey, because God can snatch things from up under you so quick it make your head spin. So just be thankful. Be thankful for what you got and where you are right now, because it could be worse. There's somebody out there that's worse than you. So just keep people in prayer. Pray yourself. Ask for forgiveness. Keep Ephesians chapter 4 in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. And keep God, honey. Have trust and faith in Him, even as little as a mustard seed, He said. And it will grow. It will grow. I love you. God bless you. And remember, communication is the key. Compassion is a must. And humility is what shape us. So remember that. From my heart to yours. From my lips to your ears. God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. And please come back for segment number 50 here on 3LG next weekend. Peace.